So what happens when the automobile company that you helped build starts going in the wrong direction? If you're Ransom Eli Olds, you pick up and you start over. Now, Mr. Olds had started a number of companies in the automobile industry, one of which was Oldsmobile. But by 1905, Ransom Olds was pretty unhappy with the direction that his company was going, and unfortunately he was surrounded by enough talking heads that it was getting more and more impossible for him to make decisions to change the direction that the shareholders wanted the company to go. Ransom Olds decided at that point, it was around 1905, that he was going to pick up and pretty much start a new company and leave the old company, Olds Motor Works, behind. Now, Ransom decided that he was going to name his company R.E. Olds Motor Car Company, but at the time, the company that he had just left, which became Oldsmobile, was known as Olds Motor Works. The current president of Olds Motor Works threatened legal action towards Ransom if he used the new name, citing that it would be confusing to customers. Ransom eventually caved and changed the name of his company to REO, or REO. Now, REO was actually a pretty successful automobile manufacturer, and they produced a number of different automobiles, eventually moving into the large truck and bus market. Now, in doing research for this, I noticed that there were a couple of things that were honestly confusing. They were not only confusing to me, but they were confusing to the public at the time. See, Ransom had named the company REO, but a lot of people also refer to the company as REO. And where a lot of this confusion comes from is the fact that the advertising that they used was genuinely inconsistent. Sometimes it would be REO in capitals. Sometimes it would just be capital REO, which greatly confused a lot of people. But I assure you that the company was originally pronounced REO. Now, the company actually did pretty well both in its automotive division and in its large truck division until about World War II. The war had helped to bring truck sales in and keep the company alive, but unfortunately their automobile sales had almost completely dwindled out. By 1954, they had already pronounced bankruptcy and had to sell their main asset, their car division, to another company. The company would actually struggle on for another 3 years before eventually succumbing to the fact that they were failing. And the company ended up getting sold off to White Motor Car Company. Diamond REO trucks continued to be built until about 1975, when eventually they were discontinued, thus ending an era of REO. Currently, Volvo owns the rights to Diamond REO trucks.